I'm Jeremy Fawcett, Head of Direct, and I'm joined today by Richard Bradley, Head of Data at the Platform.
Hello.
And we're going to be speaking about drawdowns. So Richard, you and I, we were sitting together March 2014 watching George Osborne's budget. I think we knew at the time this was quite a big opportunity for platforms, but at that time plenty of uncertainty. The rules are now in place, so where are we?
I think platforms should do really well out of the retirement reforms. So for any investor looking to do anything other than just cashing out completely or purchasing an annuity, anyone looking to do something slightly more complicated, then platforms really should be the destination of choice. So whether investors are looking for drawdown, flex access drawdown, or whether they're looking for their uncrystallised fund pension lump sum, then there's plenty of questions to ask platforms around what they can facilitate. So can they do regular payments? Can they do ad hoc payments? And really, how are platforms facilitating that will be a key question for end consumers or advisors.
And what about the cost of accessing some of these pension freedoms?
Well, platform charges were a nightmare before the pension freedoms, so it's fiendishly difficult to calculate the charges you'll be paying and to compare platforms. Every time you sort of add a factor into the equation, whether you're talking about the size of a portfolio, the tax wrapper split, or the number of transactions per year, you're adding extra complexity to any sort of pricing comparisons. And adding in some at-retirement options, it makes it even more complicated. So if you're looking at flexi-access drawdown, if you're looking at how are you going about that? Are you taking monthly payments or quarterly payments? If you've got any ad hoc charges for anything you want to do, that all has to be added into the mix. So very difficult for financial advisors to compare, but also for end consumers, really looking at direct-to-consumer platforms.
I think that's right. I mean, this is a complicated area, the whole area of taking income in retirement. We expect there to be an increase in demand for advice, but some consumers will want to access the pensions in a non-advised capacity. We're beginning to see direct platforms changing their price propositions to make themselves more attractive to self-directed investors going into drawdown. So what are we seeing there? Well, we're seeing some of the charges being stripped out, charges for ad hoc payments, charges for changing the timing of payments, that sort of thing. So they're really removing any of the barriers that there are for consumers going into non-advised drawdown.
So what are we looking at for a client with, say, £50,000 pension pot?
So £50,000 after the tax-free lump sum has been taken. The most price competitive propositions at the moment would be Fidelity and Hargreaves Lansdown, and that's because they've stripped out everything other than their basic platform costs, so 0.35% for Fidelity, 0.45% for Hargreaves Lansdown.
So how about larger portfolios?
So if you were to go up to £100,000, you begin to get the fixed price platforms, people like Interactive Investor and Alliance Trust Savings becoming more price competitive. And at the £500,000 level, all of the 5 most competitive platforms are either fixed cost or capped pricing. But there is one caveat, which is that the fixed price platforms all charge for transactions both on listed securities and also on funds. So if you're looking to take an income in excess of the dividend income from your pension portfolio, then you're going to need to sell down assets. That's moderately complicated and has cost implications as well.
So potentially quite difficult for an investor to maintain asset allocation really in a cost-effective way whilst drawing down the capital from their portfolio.
Yeah, I think that's right. And to be honest, we haven't seen by any means all of the changes that are going to take place in this area. But Richard, we'll be watching that with interest. We have published our first retirement funding series in 2015. There'll be further updates on that through the year. So any interest in that, do please get in touch with us.
Thank you.